Hi, my name's Duncan and I work on behalf of the state of North Carolina as their representative based in the UK, looking after the UK and Ireland. And over the next 2 or 3 minutes I'm going to give you a brief overview of the diversity of the state and what may appeal to some of your clients. So let's start first of all with exactly where North Carolina is. We are located on the eastern seaboard, sitting just below Virginia. To give you an idea, you can drive from Washington down to our coastal region in a matter of about 3–3¼ hours, or drive up from Orlando to our lower coastal region in about 8–8¼ hours. How accessible are we? Very accessible from Ireland. There is a seasonal direct flight with American Airlines from Dublin to Charlotte, and then one-stop connections with the other major carriers, so well served in a multitude of ways. We are not a huge state by any stretch. In fact, to go from our coastal barrier islands here to the mountain region is 543 miles, and you can actually drive it in about 10 hours. We split the state into 3 very distinct areas: the coastal plain, the Piedmont or Central Flatlands area, and then the mountain region over in the west. And what I'm going to do now over the next another couple of minutes is give you an overview of each of those three areas, starting in fact with the mountain region. And these are the highest mountains on the east coast of America. It's part of the Great Smoky National Park. It's also home to the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is a man-made scenic byway that hugs the contours of the mountain range. And a part of the Appalachian Trail actually comes up through North Carolina as well. Very outdoorsy state, lots of wide open spaces, and great for any form of activity. You name it, you can pretty much do it, whether it's hiking and mountain biking, climbing waterfalls, abseiling waterfalls. It's all there for you if you want it. Otherwise, you can just admire the beauty, great for photography, and just getting out on gentle walks, waterfalls. Really is a peaceful way of doing it, and some great log cabins in that area. The main town for our mountain area is Asheville. Asheville is quite unique in that it has the most number of Art Deco buildings outside of Miami South Beach. It is also in the downtown area. There are no chain stores or chain restaurants. They're all independent retailers or bars and cafes, which is quite a nice, pleasant change. And it's also home to the Biltmore Estate, which is the largest privately owned house in America, built by Vanderbilt as a wedding present for his wife in the 1890s and open to the public in the same way a stately home would be. Chimney Rock is also another great area for looking out and just seeing out over the mountain regions as well. If we move now to the Piedmont or Flatlands area, the key cities are Charlotte, Raleigh and Durham. Charlotte is actually the biggest banking city outside of New York, and therefore is a very cosmopolitan modern city with modern architecture, but literally within half a mile you can be in the old part of town with the sort of old neighbourhoods and small wooden buildings with great little restaurants. The Charlotte Air Museum also has the US airplane that crash landed on the river a few years ago, and that's now finished its journey to the Charlotte Air Museum. And it's also home to NASCAR motor racing series, and that all stems from bootlegging and moonshine. So there's a great story there, and the museum in Charlotte is very, very interactive, great for families. Excuse me. If you head towards Raleigh, Raleigh is the state capital. Raleigh has got an amazing food scene, more award-winning chefs in Raleigh than anywhere else in the state, and it's also home to the Raleigh Beer Garden, which actually is owned by an Irishman and holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the most number of beers on tap at 352. If we move then on to the coastal region, we have 330 miles of coastline. The area in red is what we call the Outer Banks region. The Outer Banks is this northern part, but this area here you can actually drive all the way down. There's a small free ferry here and a larger ferry there that's like $15 for a car and 4 people, but it's an absolute beautiful area. Because it is a national seashore, we have no high-rise buildings in this area at all, and this is in fact where the Wright brothers first did powered flight, and you can go and you can see how 2 guys who made bicycles achieved powered flight. And, picture there of them doing that at the bottom. Further down our coast, you into the Wilmington and Crystal Coast area. Again, very, very beautiful, very accessible from Florida as well. My time is nearly up, but just to give you an idea, some of the things you may have seen that were filmed in North Carolina, everything from the lake lift scene, from Dirty Dancing through to Fugitive and Hunger Games, Iron Man, Dirty Dancing. But